Hello, awesome fourth graders. Today we are going to be practicing our 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication. And you might be thinking, Miss Warwick, we learned this last year in 3rd grade. Super awesome. We're going to bring that knowledge back to the front of our brains. And so I have a little warm-up question, and it's about something I know you guys all love. It's about donuts. So let's read it. It says, Mrs. Prescott and Mrs. Wyrick bought 4 dozen donuts for the class. How many donuts were there? Now I'm going to read it again and I want you to listen for details. Mrs. Prescott and Mrs. Wyrick bought 4 dozen donuts for the class. How many donuts were there? Okay, I see a detail. If you see a detail, give me a thumbs up. Super awesome noticing a detail. I see 4 dozen. Which awesome 4th grader knows what a dozen means? Raise your hand if you know what a dozen means. Awesome. Good job, 4th graders. A dozen means 12. So I want you guys to represent this problem. Our 4 boxes of donuts with 12 donuts in each. I want you to use a multiplication representation to solve this question. Go ahead and pause the video. You can use whiteboard materials, you can use place value blocks, you can use the tiles, but go ahead and pause the video and replay it whenever you're ready to talk about our representations. Alrighty friends, you might have just drawn it out with circles, having 4 boxes with 12 donuts in each, or you could have drawn your little 12 in there, 12 donuts. So that would be our equal groups. You could have shown it with some repeated addition and had your 12 plus your 12 plus your 12 plus your 12. You could have drawn an array where you had 4 groups of 12, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and doing that 4 times, like literally drawing out all of those donuts would make an array. And you would be drawing out the total amount of donuts. So either way you do it, you're always finding the same answer. So there's my 4 boxes and 12 donuts in each box. You could have also connected this to an area model. And we got this really cool gadget right here. And it's going to help us show an area model. It's pretty cool. So we're doing 4 times 12, right? So here's our 4. And that's on the side, and then we'll have our 12. But whenever I represent 12 with place value blocks, I would represent it with, I would break this number apart, right? Into my tens place and my ones place. And that would be with a 10 plus a 2. So I would have to represent my 12 over here, a 10 and a 2. And then going down here, having my 4. So I'm going to make 4 groups of 12. So there's one group. Here's another group. Here's my 3rd group. And I need one more group, one more box of donuts. And I have my answer. Now making the area model with our place value blocks is super helpful because it's super easy to see what the answer is. We have our tens blocks right here. We can just count that up by tens. Super simple. 10, 20, 30, 40. There's 40 right there. And then counting up our ones, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8 right there. And if we put that together, everybody, the answer is 48. Good job, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to move into kind of the bulk of what we're going to do. So I want you guys to pause the video, and paper managers get paper from the sub and replay it whenever everybody has their paper. Okay guys, so everybody should have their paper right now. I want you to turn it sideways, and I'm going to talk to you for a second. So last week we did level 1 multiplication problems, and that was just your multiplication facts. You started learning those in 2nd grade. Most of you know them all, or you guys know a way to quickly find the answer to those problems based on other facts. So you guys, today we're going to be looking at level 2 problems. So y'all learned about level 2 problems last year, which is the 2-digit by 1-digit. So we're going to do a quick review and practice with those types of problems today. So we're going to fold our paper into thirds. You might need to pause the video to give everybody enough time to do this, but you're going to fold it kind of like a brochure. So you fold it a third of the way over, and then I like to do it like a third over and then open it up and fold it to the other crease line. And then you have 3 folds right there. And we're going to title this level 2 problems, 2-digit by 1-digit. Okay, and now we're going to open up our brochure and we're going to label the tops of these trifolds. So starting over here, we're going to have the area model. Then we're going to have partial products. And then we're going to have the standard algorithm. And the whole time we're going to be working with the same multiplication fact, and that is going to be 48 times 5. Okay, so now, just like we did on that red block, how we separated our dozen, our 12, into a 10 and a 2, what would we separate 48 into? How would we put that into expanded form? Well, we would have our 40 plus our 8. So whenever we draw our area model, we are going to go ahead and make our area model, get it all set up where we have enough space for the 10s and then the 1s. So 48 times 5. And we could draw 10, 10, 10, 10 here, but that would get really messy. So I want you guys to apply what we learned last week with our 0 rule and go 5 times 4 is 20. And underline that because we know for sure 5 times 4 is 20. And then we can add our 0 here. So 40 times 5 is actually 200. And we're going to fill in the area model here. So we did this one first, and then we're going to do this one. 8 times 5 is equal to 40. And here we did 40 times 5. Just writing that down real quick. So once we have our area model filled in, we can add that together. 200 plus 40 would make 240. So our answer to 48 times 5 is 240. Now doing partial products with that. So we're still going to do the same problem, 48 times 5. We're going to break this apart because it is 48, but it's also, we're going to think of it like 40 plus 8. So we need to keep that in mind whenever we get to this 4 right here. This is a 40. And this is an 8, and this is a 40. So we got to keep that in mind. So partial products, we're going to start with this one right here, our 1. So we're going to go 5 times 8 is 40, and write that down. That's our first partial product. That's the first product we got. And then we finished with this 8, so we're gonna go 5 times 40, not 5 times 4, 5 times 40. And 5 times 40 was 200. You could always use that trick of putting the 0 from the 40 down first and then doing 5 times 4, giving you that 20. And then when we add that together, we can see our answer is 240. We got the same thing. Now practicing that with standard algorithm. So this is the way we usually multiply, the way you should be doing it in 4th grade. We have 48 times 5. 5 times 8 was 40, but instead of writing 40 down here like we did in partial products, we're going to put our 0 down and put our plus 4 up here. Now this is the part where a lot of students get confused, so I need y'all to listen closely. So we did our 5 times 8 and got 40, so we're going to cover that 8 up, and now we're going to do 5 times 4 plus our 4. So 5 times 4 plus this 4. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 would make 24. We write it on the same line there. So our answer to 48 times 5 is 240. And everybody, what is the answer to a multiplication problem called? It is called a product. So all of these 240s that we got are just different ways to represent multiplication with just different ways. We all got the same answer, and they are all called products. Okay, you guys, y'all are going to close this up. Close up your brochure. You're going to put glue on the back part of it and glue it into your notebook.